Hey yo, real quick, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my boy Farhan. He's been helping us out with the editing of the pictures in the background you guys see up there when I talk, so if it looks really good, please go out there and support him. His link will be in the description below. What's up, Giants fans? What's up, fans of the channel, subscribers? Today is just gonna be your boy Noname. Nighttime couldn't make it. As referenced in our update video, scheduling is hard. But, I mean, y'all probably hearing my voice, I just sound tired and defeated. That's because I am tired. The OBJ trade. Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. Our star wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, definitely top 3, my personal opinion, and of course there's bias in it. He was number 1 to me, number 1 receiver. They traded him to the Cleveland Browns for their first round pick, 17th overall pick, their third round pick, which is the 95th, I believe, overall pick, and Jabril Peppers, a former first round pick, strong safety, out of Michigan a couple years ago. And the trade was just very confusing to me. If I was to record what I'm doing right now, if I was to record this episode, say last night when I found out about the trade, I'd be on here ranting a lot and I'd be angry and pissed. And myself and every other Giants fan that feels angry and pissed about this trade has the right to be angry and pissed, because we have no idea where Dave Gettleman is going with this team, where the team is going in general. What are we doing with our players? Who are we picking up? What's the direction? Are we in rebuild mode? After last night, it's clear, extremely clear, that we're in rebuild mode. And if we are in rebuild mode, why didn't we try and get the most from our players that we won away? Landon Collins, I'm going to continuously come back to this because, I mean, everything is connected to it. Like, Jabril Peppers, he's a strong safety that we got from the Cleveland Browns. I looked at his tape, I looked at a couple of his highlights. He's more of a box safety, just like Landon Collins. He tackles better than he does cover, but he is better in coverage than Landon. Look at his stats, it's not going to show that, obviously. Landon had that big breakout year in 2016 where he had like 6 or 7 interceptions on the season. Jabril Peppers has only got like 1 interception last year, I think. But he's definitely better than Landon in coverage for tight ends. He doesn't get burnt as much as Landon does. He has more speed. And like for that reason, he kind of reminds me of a younger Landon. But so I think the pickup in that sense of him is not bad, but was it worth it? Which is what I'm really going to talk about in this video. But let me get back to what I was saying originally. Kind of going off on a tangent here. Like I say, man, this entire trade made me very, very confused. If we're in rebuild mode, why did we not tag Landon Collins and then trade him for a couple of third rounders? But why did, in general, even if we weren't in rebuild mode, if we knew we were going to let him go, why did we just let him walk away for nothing? He was our star safety. Landon, like Beckham, on his positional value, is a top 5 safety. In my complete opinion, Landon Collins was the best defensive player on that team, on that Giants team, since about last year when Gettleman first came in and cut just a whole bunch of people. I can go all the way back to the Snacks trade. I don't think we got enough out of Snacks. We got, a 5th rounder for him? We could have definitely gotten a 3rd or a 4th. But that's way too far back. I'm just trying to keep it focused on this offseason. We should have traded Landon for a couple of thirds. If there was a team, obviously it's been reported, you can't really trust reports, but then again, about every single report that came out for this offseason has been true. Reports about Beckham being traded for months now. It's seemingly going to be true about the reports of Colin Murray going to Arizona. And I just saw one like a couple days ago saying that the Cardinals are actually shopping Josh Rosen. But the reports are that there was a team wanting to give us a 1st rounder for him at the trade deadline. Why didn't you take it? I have no idea. Looking at the trade itself, listen, I do not like it at all. Like I said, I was pissed. I still am a bit angry, but not as much when I think about it more and more. But let me tell you why I was angry and why every Giants fan that is angry has a right to be angry. Odell Beckham Jr. is quite possibly the best wide receiver in the NFL. At this point in his career, if he continues at the rate he's been producing, he will be a Hall of Famer at the end of his career. There's no doubt about it. this is the only knock I can put on him. He's injured almost every year. And I will not put a knock on him for being a quote-unquote distraction because he's passionate. That's, in my opinion, that's just New York media looking for something to rip apart, because that's what New York media does. That's also, in my opinion, some of the old head fans just being old head fans. But he's not a distraction, especially when you compare it to what most NFL players are like, what other distractions are considered on other NFL teams. Kareem Hunt kicking a woman. Odell has never abused anybody. The worst he's ever done was being caught in a photo with a supermodel pizza on his bed and a questionable substance that many people think to be cocaine. And even if you don't want to refer to that, the next thing would be he kicked a kicking mat. There's people in the NFL that's been accused of murder. There's people in the NFL that's been accused of rape. There's people in the NFL that has been convicted of abuse and convicted of sexual violence and stuff. So he was not, in my opinion, any type of distraction. His on-the-field work, even if you could consider that distraction, completely demolished everything off the field. So I don't know. That's just me. I never considered Odell a distraction to the team. And I was always a huge Odell Beckham fan. And I'm like, part of me regrets not recording immediately last night so you guys could like hear how angry I was about the trade and how confused I was, because the timing makes no sense at all. Like, first of all, Gettleman repeated for months and months that we didn't just sign the guy to a $95 million contract to be the highest paid wide receiver in the history of the NFL to just trade him. And that's exactly what he did. It just makes no sense to me, especially since we're eating $16 million in cap this year. We already had a limited cap space for this offseason, and now you just took away $16 million of it. It just makes no sense to do it at this time. If, like, I would have no problem trading him if we traded him next year. Or if we did trade him this year, they shouldn't have extended him to that gigantic contract. They should have used the 5th-year option on his rookie contract and probably franchise tagged him and then traded him. There's just so many stupid decisions that Gettleman has made this offseason that makes me wonder if he's really the guy to fix this team. There really is a lot. I had no problem with letting Vernon go because we got a great guard in return. I had serious problems with letting Landon Collins walk for nothing when we could have gotten a first-rounder. And even if that report was fake, we could have definitely gotten a couple third-rounders for him. And then this trade, listen, you're never going to get back equal value for a superstar when you trade them. It's like that in every single sport. But this trade, we got a first, a third, and a safety that hasn't lived up to his first-round pick. That's not worth it. We should have, in my opinion, we always should have, if we were going to trade Beckham, traded him for at least 2 first-rounders. You want to add on something, add on something. There's reports that the 49ers were interested, the Raiders were interested. The Raiders they have 3 first-round picks. Even if they don't give us 2 of those 3 this year, if we trade them to the Raiders, let's say they gave us, I think the 24th overall is one of them. They gave us that, they gave us a 2nd round, and they gave us a 2nd round next year, or won their first next year. I would have taken it. It's better than the deal we got here. The 49ers, I doubt they would have given us the 2nd overall pick for Beckham, but they could have, I don't know, man. It's just, oh my God. He's on such a level that we should have gotten 2 first-round picks for him and more. We got robbed. Yeah, the Browns, they're kind of a god squad. They look amazing on paper, and they were an amazing team last year. Shout out to Baker Mayfield and Browns. Shout out to all the real Browns fans. You guys deserve it after going through years and years of just quarterback hell, years and years of not making playoff, years and years of being the laughingstock of the league. Now people should fear the Browns. Even before they got Beckham, people should have feared the Browns. They were making moves on their D-line and their defense, bolstering it up. Like, the Browns are a serious contender. They're my pick next year for winning the AFC North. What they do with that is up to them, but they definitely got the AFC North at this point. On the Giants, I don't know where this team is headed. It's so hard being a Giants fan. It really is. I have faith in them. They make good decisions. Sometimes they make questionable decisions that make me teeter-totter and whatnot. Like, I really support the new regime. And then they pull something like this. And it just makes me angry. I am more angry about what we got in return for Beckham than the fact that we traded him. Because it's been going around for 2 years now that we might trade him. So it's not as much as a surprise. I'm just really angry that we didn't get back 2 first-rounders. And even if that's the ideal world, we could have gotten something better. I mean, I don't know where this team is headed. And if we are in rebuild mode, in a couple of our videos, I said that I'm a big supporter of Eli Manning. I believe he could come back for 1 year, but I also stated he's definitely not worth $23 million at this point in his career. If we're in rebuild mode, Gettleman or somebody needs to go up to Eli and ask him to take a pay cut, and a huge pay cut. If he's coming back, you better be coming back for $5 million or less, and if he doesn't want to do that, you better be cutting Eli. You have to cut Eli at this point if you're trying to get back some money. I don't know what is he coming back for at this point, huh? I don't even know if we're gonna take a quarterback in the first round anymore. That's how lost this team is. They don't even look like they have a game plan. If Eli's coming back, he has no reason to come back. The only reason he should be coming back next year is to mentor somebody. And if we somehow trade for Josh Rosen, which by the way is the only way I think the Giants can fix this, then that's the only reason he should come back, to be mentoring him, and he should be coming at a very, very cheap price, not $23 million. That's all I really have to say on this trade. I don't know where this team is going. I pray to God that Gettleman has some sort of game plan some sort of plan for the future. Because right now, guys, we began the offseason with like 1 or 2 major holes. That was fix the right side of the line, which I'll give him credit for. He's done half of that by getting Kevin Zeitler from the Browns. And then the other hole, the bigger hole, was the defense. Fix the pass rush. Get some coverage up there in the secondary. Now, free agency has officially begun literally today, and somehow we have more holes than before it began. Now we have a hole at our wide receiver number 1, because as good as Sterling Shepard is, he's not a number 1 wide receiver. And we kind of, I guess you could say, plugged up that strong safety hole with Jabril Peppers. He's good. He has potential. He's not great, but then we still have a hole with strong free safety. We still have a hole on our pass rush, linebacking core. Like almost everywhere on defense, there's still holes. Free agency has began. I'm recording this right now. It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopefully this goes up on the same Wednesday that I'm recording. Free agency began 3 hours ago, and we have a lot more holes than we did say a couple weeks ago. I'm just really tired with this team. I hope they know where they're going. I'll have another video up about how the Giants can fix this, at least my take on it, and that's by trading for Josh Rosen. I'm not sure if I'm gonna drop the Vernon and Collins video at this point. I was gonna drop it today, but then Odell's trade happened. Like, I don't know, man. That's all I can say about this topic, you guys. I don't even have enough energy to end it with a year, but